So hello, good evening, welcome to Donny Chaingang, the eagle-eyed amongst you. Will also notice it's Sticky Mouse Day. We do keep saying we wear out kit on the Chaingang, and we do, because we now have an officially sticky mouse. Next mouse to bite the dust. It's not been got by the cat, Indy hasn't eaten it. It's just worn out with all of the moving about on the Chaingang. As you can see, just over there, the riders are assembling, and if you are eagle-eyed, you will also notice, as well as it being Sticky Mouse Day, that we have a new stroke returning yellow beacon because Russ is otherwise indisposed, and it means that we have got the return of the wolf. Yes, it is. The one and only Jimmy Allen is back with us. He's standing in for Russ tonight, who is otherwise indisposed. So Jimmy is with us. Now, it is Nonna's month all the way through for members of the DCG gang. That means we've got some great giveaways. There is a 20% discount for members of the DCG gang who renewed before the start of the month. So the entries for that has closed. That is going to be great for people who have already joined. And don't forget, of course, if you're a member of the DCG gang, you are going to be eligible for that draw. That is a 1 in, I think, going to be about 1 in 10 chance, just slightly less. About 1 in 10.7, I think I worked it out as for the first chance. And of course, it's going to improve on the way through, and that is quite simply because we are going to operate the usual old school rules of one rider, one prize. Now, let's get on to tonight because those prize draws are going to come later in the month. As you can see just above our riders who are there, just up above them, up there, are all of the people who look after the members of the DCG gang. You know how it works. Basically, if you donate for the month, then that month we send you the links, the discount codes, we get you into the prize draw to say thank you. If you donate for the season, to the end of the season, that takes you right the way through to the end of April for the DCG. So, at the moment, although it is March, we're almost midway through March. So that means that we are heading in towards the last 6 or 7 weeks of the DCG. And in fact, for the WoW DCG that's coming up tomorrow, we are running into the last few because it ends at the end of March. So another of our busy weeks because we have, of course, the DCG today. We have the WoW DCG tomorrow and the Donny Chaingang DCG open to everybody again on Thursday. So do make sure you tune in, that you can jump on and ride whilst you get in. Now, as you can see, plenty of chat on the chat room. Let's meet our yellow beacon. This is the one and only Jimmy Allen. Jimmy, seen here in full-on hill climb mode with just the stub of a lever on the left-hand side that you can just see. He does just about have two operable brakes. He's not just snapped it off on his way up. Going for the maximum weight saving there. So Jimmy is your yellow beacon. The course is Sand and Sequoias, a long-time favourite of the Donny Chaingang. It's really simple course. It goes round in a big circuit. The first half of the circuit is sandy and flat. The second half ascends through Titan's Grove. It then drops back down again and runs through to the Fuego Flats, the Rock Arch sprint finish. We do 2 full laps from Rock Arch to Rock Arch. That gives us a total distance of 42.6, if I can get my teeth in, and an elevation of 356 meters. We have a warm down of 2.4k, just so that you can spin your legs out, chat, and tell everybody how amazing you were when you got beat on the way through, how much your power has increased, and how amazing you are. Whether you managed to keep up with Jimmy and did the wolf manage to savage you with his claws. Now, if you do get savaged and get spat out of the main group, then we have Kooslugs. That is Michael Hutchinson. Going to be doing our mopping up in red. He's our red beacon. So Kooslug's doing the mopping up of our riders who get dropped. He's in charge of the bus today. And please do let him know if you're dropping out, if you don't want to jump on the bus, if you'd rather ride on your own. Now, we said it was course of 2 halves, and you can see it is. We've spun the route round just so that we can get a better view of the Sand and Sequoias section, and that is on your screen at the moment, courtesy of VeloViewer. We've got to say a massive thank you to the team at VeloViewer because they do an amazing job here today. They basically keep everything all together in terms of us being able to see where we're going, what we're doing, what we've got in front of our riders. So it is really, really key. So a big thank you to VeloViewer. Make sure you jump on to the stream and head on through there. So make sure you jump in. It's powered by Strava, so if you want to see all of your stats in even more detail, be able to spin things, zoom in and out and get some real custom stuff, then jump on there. So the riders are lined up and ready to go. As you can see, we're into the last 5 seconds or so. So let's head in to our ride here on the Donny Chaingang. As we go across and watch those riders heading out, we're going to try and jump on the last of those riders heading out from town. I think that is going to be Mr. Lane, but we will take a little bit of a view backwards. There are a few people as late joiners. Now, quick reminder to everyone. There are going to be well over 100 riders. We're already at 97 riders. We will go over the 100 rider mark. That means if you are on the front, you will not see the back. If you are at the back, you will not see the front. So please, guys, keep a really close eye on the riders behind, because otherwise you are not going to see them. Now, as you can see, we have got Jimmy already just putting out the plate. Looks like Neil just having a drop out there. So Neil will no doubt jump in again. We're going to just jump back in with our avatar. And if we take a little bit of a look, it looks like he's all alone. There's nobody there. So everybody is indeed out. Now, the last rider on the road is Mr. Richardson with Neil from Gritty with a tech dropout. Just seeing Mark Grant jumping in. So I think Grant just going to be working his way up. Forrester just in here. So the gang rolling the way in and along. Henry Fuller just jumping in at 1.3. Guys, if you're going to jump in as a late join, make sure you're doing 2.5 watts per kilo, or you will find yourselves all alone, wandering through the fields, thinking, are you dead? Don't worry. It doesn't all going to hurt. You've lost the group. No, so if you doubt, jump in, get into the front. I watch too much Gladiator. And get in with the gang. You can already see plenty of people just making their way in towards the back of the pack. This is our rollout. We're heading in towards the key point. And that key point is the marker of the Rock Arch. So this the final run in to the finish. Get quite a few dress rehearsals of this one on the way through. Now, we're going to do a little apology. We may find that we have sticky mouse today. That means that as the mouse slowly disintegrates, we may not move across from rider to rider. We may jump from screen to screen just to make life even more fun. And that's why we do say, if you do have the ability to donate to us, please do. We really do appreciate it. And it does help us with all of the kit that we trash, all of the streaming, all of those fees, all of the broadband. You don't want to know how much the increase in broadband is going to cost us this year. The increases are incredible. Very, very substantial. Well, they are in the UK anyway. So they are. We need more broadband, because guess what? We need enough to play the game. We need enough to be able to broadcast it. We need enough to monitor it. So, yeah, your red beacon is this man. It is Michael Hutchins. It is Kooslokes. Now, on the stream, he doesn't have a red beacon. He may have it in the live, but we will see. Now, here we go. So, looks like no banner on Michael, unfortunately. He can see it. Okay, so he can see it even if I can't. It is not unusual, particularly after updates, that we can't see on broadcast the red beacon. Chris can see it as well. Great stuff, Chris. It's just us, and we know what Michael looks like. We know what Kooslokes looks like, so it's not an issue. Now, this is the run-in. This is the Rock Arch. Our official lap counter will no doubt be telling us exactly how many laps there are to go as we go underneath the rock arch here. This is the run through. This is key. We do indeed, as Jimmy Allen has posted, finish here in 2 laps time. 2 laps time, ladies and gents, and then we will be coming in and through. So just taking a little bit of a helicopter run up over the top. There's been some great action already. Looks like plenty of people just about managed to get in. Good to see we've got Cam Fraser on board. Mr. Fraser from Sigma Sport on board. Archie Atkinson, his shoe came off. Archie, don't try and ride it with one shoe. Isn't going to work, buddy. So Cam Fraser here and in. Mr. Fuller, you are substantially behind in terms of you aren't going to get on at that pace. Jump out, jump back in again. That is going to take some incredible riding to get back on again. The pack is moving swiftly. Archie was trying to tighten his cleat. All the P's. Perfect preparation prevents particularly poor performance and all that. Have to be careful how we phrase that. Now, good to see we've got John Wild on board. John from Velo Viewer is in here. A man who is almost the Peter Pan of the gang here. Good to see that he's on board. Nice choice of wheels indeed. So going to be really interesting to see. Oh, check some pro move. Love it. Yeah, right. Now, let's have a little look. I think we are graced by plenty of riders in here who will merit the orange tick against their name. We've got Archie in here. Modern Archie. Let's take a little bit of a run up here and see who else we've got in here. We have not Morgan, but Manon Lloyd. By the look of it, I will find Manon. Manon, where are you? We are in the GCN kit. Manon Lloyd on board the Chaingang once again. A regular on the Chaingang. Good to have Manon on board. Going to be interested to see how Manon goes on tonight. Always very quick indeed. So maybe some last minute crash training for Battle on the Beach. Good to have Manon on board. Make sure you watch all of those videos. Some great videos coming up from Manon and all the gang on GCN. Some great content on there. I think they're recruiting as well at the moment. If you fancy diving in and joining the team, if you think you're cool enough. Right, let's have a little check through. We've got Leon Mazzoni in here as well. Leon back in with us again. The one whose legs do the talking. We'll work our way through all of these riders one way or another. We will try and find everybody who's got an orange tick on them. It's not always that easy as we run our way through. Maybe lots of people ought to have orange jerseys. Let's have a double check. Who else we've got? Damien Clayton is in here. Ooh, now that's interesting. Mr. Clayton on board. Back in with us. He's in the white. Definitely a jersey to watch out for on the way through. This is going to be fast tonight. It's in the air. It is. It's a very, very fast circuit. This is usually very, very quick. Definitely not the slowest of circuits that we use. It is one where the group has got to be very careful, though. And you've got to be careful not to get distanced out the back very early on. Because if you lose the junction, as the train goes past, if you lose that group, then you will find yourself in trouble. Nick McDermott just with easing off the watts there, just getting a shout out on the way through. So Titus Grove, it will cause a few splits, but don't panic. Captain Mannering, really essential. Don't panic. Really is key. It will cause splits. Don't let the gaps go. Stay as tight as possible on those rollers. That is for sure. Listen to the words of Jimmy Allen. Rule 1, don't panic. Rule 2, stay around yellow. So it looks like Nick just having to do family duties on the way through. In the meantime, Henry Fuller's on a bit of a chase here. He's got you down to 38 seconds. Mr. Fuller, you are not making life easy for yourself. You know the easy way to do this, get out and come back in again. But motoring on here, now down to 37 seconds. He's on a bit of a mission to get back in here. It's going to take a little bit of doing. Looks like Alan Parsons just up here. Number 3, stay off the front. Number 4, don't chase the front. Loving the numbers coming in and through. So just keeping an eye on the back of this pack, although it's a very nice compact group at the moment. Nobody playing silly whatsits. Everybody looking like they're behaving themselves. We are on 102 riders though, so just a reminder, if you are on the front you will not see the back. If you're on the back you won't see the front, so please try and keep it together, guys, and hold it steady. Mr. Fuller still chasing. He got that down to 29 seconds now. He's coming back. The gang motoring through the tunnels here, just in with low down here with Keith on that low slung camera down here. Leon Mazzotti, money's on Dale. Not tonight, Josephine. It suits Mr. Mason tonight because he can get over these hills, we know. So going rolling along nicely, just trying to jump in with Jimmy Allen, the one and only yellow beacon tonight. This is Jimmy. Jimmy in his traditional Mondrian kit. Here's your yellow beacon for the evening, ladies and gents. Your pilot in charge of proceedings. Great to see that he's back on board. I was just thinking today that Jimmy's had a quiet period in this run after Christmas, and that'll teach me for thinking it. Sorry, Jimmy. Guaranteed you were going to get called up for duty tonight. So Mr. Fuller is indeed coming back. He's on his way. I was just going to try and get back to him. We will try and go off the back to go forwards. So Paul Malin, Keith Richardson just tucked off the back. The issue here is trying to see your nearest 100 riders when there are so many in here. At the moment, the nearest 100 riders to the full speed events avatars aren't necessarily the nearest 100 riders out on course. You can't see him because of the 100 rider ruling. Mr. Richardson is dropping. We're just trying to get to see him at the moment. It may well be that we can pull him up onto our screens. Don't drop back too far, guys, just in case. We are not going to get him on the back here. Really tricky to grab on the way through, and that 100 rider ruling really does make life difficult. So essentially, if you are in there now, Keith Richardson says he's got him. So looks like he's definitely on his way. At the moment, Koos looks is the back of the 100 riders. He's going to see the nearest 100 riders to him. So that is basically all the guys up there. So Henry Fuller is in there. So brilliant. So good job done. So 105 riders on board. 105 now. Just going to keep a check on the back here. Looks like Cam Fraser just on the back of the group. Mr. Atkinson, and here we go. Let's jump in. So Keith Richardson in with Henry Fuller. You can just see Cam there getting ready to wind it up. So is Simon Runnett just to bring the group back together. You can see that little strung out group of riders on the way back there. And the extension off the back is those riders just making the way on to the back of the group behind the gang here. So steadily making the way in and through. Really does make the Red beacons life difficult when he can't see the riders at the back. So if you are off the back, guys, shout, message, get in touch, let our red beacons know. Really, really important as they come in and through, particularly once we go over that 100 rider marker. So Jimmy Allen getting the message board out there and using it to good effect. Looks like Rich Orrell just having to chase on the back here as we go in through the neon wonders. So I think pretty much all aboard here. Fantastic stuff done by the gang. Well done, everybody. As usual, sterling work to get everybody in and on board, and heck of a chase there by Henry Fuller as well to get back in with the gang. Neil in as well after having issues there on his way home. Coming in, so although starting with us, having to jump out and rejoin, and that is the wonders of having that late join. Yes, Henry, do a late join, jump out, jump back in. Henry's just done an absolutely max level to keep in and through. Now, Jimmy Allen's going to be standing around the 2.5 watts per kilo marker as he goes up on to the climb. So going to be key for our riders to keep following Jimmy. If in doubt, all pile on Jimmy. He's not a big fella, but I'm sure he's strong enough to take the pressure. Natural born leader, Jimmy Allen. I wonder whether they can shoot basketball as well as Team Wolf could. So Coast looks rolling at the back of the gang. Plenty of people on board to join here. We've got Rich Orrell, Chris Cannon's made it as well. I've just seen Callum Crabe in here. Mr. Kerry, Vin Donahoe in here. Tom Elliott in here. I've just seen Tracy the Terminator in here. I think we've got Cameron Norman in. Cam, hope you're feeling strong. Hope you're going to get your legs ripped off tonight, actually, because I'm going out riding with Cam tomorrow. So Cam just tucked in there. Supposed to have been doing intervals today as well, apparently. Always dangerous, Cam, telling me anything, believe me. Doug Main, hasn't been sent the link. Is there another way to get me on? Nope. Nope. Link went out to everybody who registered properly. And if you are a member, it should be on there. Went out by email. Have had a few inquiries from people who registered for 1 month. Somebody today inquired that registered in February and wondered why they weren't getting emails telling them the links in March, because it's a calendar month. It's in that calendar month if you're a member or supporter of the DCG gang. Otherwise, you need to register to join. You do get a confirmation email when you sign up. If you don't get that confirmation, you aren't going to get the link come through because it comes from the same automated system. If you think we sign in 100 plus riders every day, I'm afraid we don't. It's done automatically. It would be impossible. You'd all be paying us a lot more than 25 quid a go. Right, Titans Grove. I think we've just about done it. Will we get over the top? Pretty much together. We are almost there. Just going to take a little bit of a check. The yellow beacon is at the back. We're about halfway up. We're now going to continue on the way up. Remember, Jimmy Allen won't chase you. It's up to Jimmy whether or not he bothers calling the 3 words. Yellow is your man that you need to stay around at the moment. There ain't no steam. So Jimmy, experienced leader and rider on the Chaingang. We're just going to sit on Jimmy for a moment or two. Okay, so we're back. Just been making sure we keep a check of who's on the front and who's doing what. Just a quick reminder to everybody, we can see what you're doing. It has your name on it and it has the watts per kilo that you're doing on it, guys. Therefore, if you're on the front doing 3.1 watts per kilo and are some 20 seconds up the road from the yellow beacon, we know who you are. It's really obvious, guys. And screenshots are wonderful things. We also have a second ride monitor going with another computer, and guess what? That records it all as well. It's really important. The gang around Yellow Beacon, there's a reason why we're on Jimmy Allen whilst we're doing this, are very obvious because they're in the same time gap. Tom Mazzoni, you are talking out your posterior as per usual. You were one of the riders doing 3.1 watts per kilo. Now doing 2.7 watts per kilo, 18 seconds off and around the front. Credit to your team. Not. So some people think we say the stay with yellow for because of the we just want people to give Russ a really nice time. And the answer is no, we don't. What we don't want you to do is rip it up at the front, so people don't get spat out in the back by the yo-yoing on the front. The whole point of the chain gang is to look after each other. Generally, what you tend to find is that one of the reasons we take a break in the summer is because our patience has worn to its thinnest. So it's like Kuslik's just keeping an eye on G at the back here, making sure he's on the way in and through. Looks like Joe Walker off the back, trainer disconnected. Get a quick disconnection, quick buddy. Just having a quick look. You've got about 5 minutes of late join, guys. 5 minutes of late join left. Tom Haggard, Tom, you've got 5 minutes of late join. So G just putting the message board up. Michael, if you're listening, which I'm sure you probably are, just putting out the message. He's on his first ride back. You're more than welcome to leave him behind, and he'll just ride his way into the finish. So on his way. I think Kuslik said, no, don't worry, we'll ride with you. The Stellaton always going to be looking after the riders. Always great to see the gang from Stellaton looking after the riders at the back and working as a team. So the yellow beacon, Jimmy, just ticking his way up here, just on the back of that group. Well, and truly stretched out. It has been worse, I have to admit, on the way up here. It looks like it has come back together again. So Oral, Kuslugs, and Miss G at the back there. Jimmy Allen nicely tucked in here. So Mr. Walker has a little bit of work to do, just chasing his way up. He's got G in front, putting out some big numbers after that disconnection there. See if he can push his way back in. So just letting the first of our riders over the top, going over 2 seconds, but that was actually starting at the back there from Hager, going up towards the front. So going to be where the gaps get spread out. Nice to see pretty much everybody together. Mantis going and staying at the back there. The gaps on the way over the top, though, will really open up once we're on this descent. So as you can see, Kuslik's just going over the top now, and then it's going to be Walker who's made his way up to Kuslik's and G. So our red beacon currently sitting at 15.2k. The rest are on their way down. A split opening as we come over the top. The gang on the way down into the descent. So Jimmy Collin, the regroup at the bottom. The main gang 25 seconds up on Gooslugs at the moment. With most of the gang hovering round Jimmy Allen. So the push is on, and they're continuing to squeeze, try and get themselves back in with still plenty of descending to do. Let's see, people have finally seen the bear that falls out of the tree on the way round. Those great new additions in the part of the forest. There he is. It's on the floor. And there's the bears inscribed Jarvis into the tree. That wasn't Yogi, it was Russ. Love it. So Mr. Booker just off the back of that main group, just probably going to be giving assistance to some of those riders behind. Jimmy Allen just sat at the back of that group. Jimmy not going to do the chasing. Be a interesting regroup when we hit the bottom. You can just see the various lines of riders snaking their way in and through on the map and on your screen. Just rolling in with Jimmy Allen's group. Still making their way through the mud flats. The front of the ride just descending down in towards the junction on the way through. So the call goes out from Jimmy Allen to regroup. Jimmy not at the back by any stretch of the imagination, but with a big group. So the word from Jimmy Allen to stay off the front now, please, guys. Right, so just for your information, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we ask everybody to register. If you're watching this back and you've been riding tonight and you've registered for the ride, this is how it works. We ask you to register for a reason. Real simple. You need to stay around yellow. Those rules you sign up for. We now have sufficient evidence. There will be a number of riders not rejoining. Not on Thursday. They will find that they do not get sent the link. There are a number of riders who will be taken out from membership of the DCG Gang Supporters Club as well, because, again, repeated violations of that. And you won't get a ride. There's a reason it is a secret ride. If you have entered and you haven't put your name in there, a proper name, you will also find that you're not in there. So if you have put B and then your IGDICK, for example, guess what? You ain't going to make it. And that will be on Thursday's ride. I had to do it for a while, but it looks like a few people thinking that they'll just come along and take the mickey out of the rest of the gang. Well, do you know what? Ain't going to happen. That's why we have it in here. So you have been warned. Names, follow the yellow beacon. That's the rules. Don't like it, find another little gang to play with. There's plenty of them about. This is your last chance. But if you don't put your names in, you will definitely be in there. So, Scarborough warning put down. You have been warned. We will be going through the membership and through the registrations. And we will put the filters back on to take everything out. Yeah. We could have already been up and running, but the longer the people mess about, guess what? It's all going to be in there. Don't boat the wolf, he's got bigger teeth than the bear. Love it. So through we go. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. So we've got Beefy on board from Cycleways, one of our regular riders in here. A final request. Yeah, ramp workout. Wow, DCG gets to 4.5 watts per kilo ramped before it gets called. Any final request? Wonderwall. Dale Williams, can we have a bit after the Titans? Well, I quite like that. That avatar is just an optical illusion at the moment. That's going to come from Anonymous, so I'll not tell you who that is. Chalk Ice would be nice from Mantis Toboggan's last request. I have vanilla ice cream with pecan for my post commentary today. Won't need too much, not having to say too much on the way through. Chalk Ice. Mercy from Rich Dobson, that's his last request. Could be a late call. Jimmy Allen, okay, go, get ready. T minus. I loving the fact that he's not actually put what it is. Fantastic stuff, Jimmy, as always. Keep people guessing. Going to be a very quick run in now. The bus is, at the moment, Kuslokes, Personji, and going to be Richard. The go-go-go has gone. The go-go-go has gone. We're at the back, and the go-go-go goes at the front there. So the pressure is now well and truly on. You can see that's going to be Finley Hudson at the front, who's just gone rocking up. Callum Craib's gone with him. It looks like Jim Little's in there. Tom Lindley in there. Westwood has put the hammer down as well. Simon Oxenham doing the same. Loving it just before 40 minutes. That's a serious kick. It is just under half of the ride distance left to go. So remember, guys, if you do get distanced, make sure that you find yourself a group and jump in it real quick. Find a group and jump in quick. It's going to be really, really key today, because we have got virtually a full lap left to go, and some big time gaps starting to open up now as we make our way through the first bunch at the moment. Pretty much all together looks like it's well and truly holding some serious names in there. I'm just looking for the first big gap back, and I suspect we're going to take a little bit of a look. It's at the back of this group, so the bunch just about forming into two. We're just tracking back at the back of this. So you've got the main bunch. You've got Group 2 just forming, Group 3 forming with two riders chasing hard behind. We're just jumping in with Fiona Booker. Now, here we go. Let's see how they go. Bobby Mason in here. It looks like Alistair Cootie, Chris James from Ilkeston in this group. Callum Craib at just distance. Good to see that we've got Stefano Barelli in here. He's on his way through. He's in good company. He's got Beefy from Cycleways in here as well. So they're closing the team at the back. That's the bus closing in on Joe Walker if he fancies some company. Robertson's just at the road. Ben Coking, Claire Jessup, Stefano, Mark Grant, Beefy, Callum. We've got Tim Baggs in here. Tim's actually our beacon on Thursday. This is the Booker group. This is group number 3 on the road. Now let's take a little bit of a check. We're in with group number 2. So this is group number 2, and at the moment you can just see this group is going well at the moment. They're only 8 seconds down, as this group being led by Tracy here on this group, and we have one rider who has decided to go for a long one. That is a very long one indeed. Now, who's gone for it up at the very, very front? We will get there eventually. It just takes a little bit of doing on the way through. Who's it going to be? Oh, is it Archie? He's gone for it. There you go. Let's see. Can he hold him off? Let's see who's going to go after. Well, it'll be interesting. Let's see if we get a breakaway going. Are we going to get a breakaway starting to move clear? Are we going to see a number of riders going in? Are we going to see an attack over the top when people are right on their limit? Finley Hudson helping lead the charge here at the moment. So a big old pack of riders. There's some serious momentum in here. You can see Williams at the moment leading this out. Looks like Hagar, Bolton and Co are still chasing in this part. We're just riding in with Kerry. Now, Westwood tucked it in here. This is a massive group of riders. They are absolutely motoring, and at the moment I wouldn't give very much for the chances of anybody who's staying solo from this at the moment. And what they are doing is they're burning their legs on the run into the climb. Dangerous thing to do, Jimmy Allen. The Wolves sat in this pack. So it's like Dale Williams still up the road here. So stuck in this, looks like Man and Lloyd still holding in nicely, just showing an absolute class in there, sat in this back, not using too much energy. Looks like Harry Hudson, he's tucked in here. Definitely somebody to watch as we take a run in to the finish. Damien Clayton, look at this proper pro. Lets his legs do the talking inside the back of the gang. Exercises his leg muscles, not his jaw muscles. Let's see if he's going to be the man who's going to take this come the end of the ride. The only place you need to be on the front is when you're going over the line. If you're going to do it once, do it at the end. Let's have a little look. Let's see who's going to go what, where, when, and how. So this is group number 2 at the moment. So this is group 2. 30 seconds down on group number 1. Another nice big pack here. And behind them, I will get there. Here we go. It's only 3 seconds. This is group number 3. So group 1 is the Yellow Beacon group. There is escapees trying it on at the front. Not going to get very far. Group 2, then this is group 3. And then group number 4 is this one. They've got Callum Craig just in front of them solo. So this is group 4 here with Stefano Borelli. But remember, Borelli, of course, the main man at Nonnas, the manager of Nonnas, who are the supporters of the Chaingang Supporters Club this month, and looking after all of the members. Stefano with a list of all the members, so make sure you email him if you're going to go dive in, and he can check your name off on the list for that 20% discount on the list. If you're not a member, then you're not going to get access to that 20%. Sorry, but it's our way of saying thank you. Now, back in the groups 2 and 3 have come together and is now one big group. Interesting note that we've got Carl Kapinski in this group. For those people who don't know Carl, just Google Carl Kapinski and have a check out of the artwork. It is absolutely stunning stuff. Really, really stunning stuff. So please, guys, make sure you check that out. Brilliant artwork. If you want to know who's responsible for the bear cartoon artwork, and that's just him on a bad day. A good day, he's even more astounding. To be honest, I'd be absolutely astounded if I could ever draw even a tenth as good as that, because the man is an absolute star. Make sure you check out Carl Kapinski on YouTube. There's loads of great artwork on there, and one of our supporters of the gang. Now, the team are working their way in and through, taking this right-hand turn. Well, let's see who is going to take this out. We're about to come on to the climb, and then from the climb we've got a big descent on the way down and out. Who's going to be able to hold this on the way up? Just watching Richie Woodall, who's nicely tucked in here. So as Mason says, here we go. He's not wrong. We're coming on to the climb. So now we are on the ascent, and Clayton is winding it up now. That is proper numbers up on the front there, because he is currently at 9.5 watts per kilo. Let's take a look behind Damo. It looks to me like all of a sudden that big bunch has been strung out. And the man who is pulling the levers and really stretching them out, it is Damien Clayton. The rack is getting pulled apart here, and I think there's going to be a few loose sockets when we come off the other side, because Clayton has well and truly put the hammer down here. This is a serious amount of power going down. Simon Oxenham. It looks like Dale Williams, Tom Lindley in there, Pearson in there, Hepton, Booker in there, Mason in there, Lowe in there as well. The real who's who of the Chaingang in pursuit. And that Yellow Beacon is not all that far behind at the moment, but it's Clayton with that gap now. Can he take himself right the way up to the top? We're just taking a look at this pack. Looks like Booker is still sitting in here. So is Cam Fraser. Looks like it really is very, very cagey indeed. Just going to take a little bit of a roll back down through here. Neil from the crosscast from Gritty is in here. He's holding those wheels at the moment. Elastic has not completely snapped here. Really interesting to see. We've got riders just being stretched here, but at the moment we are not seeing a complete and utter destruction of the group. Just see Man and Lloyd going through just in front of Runnit and McDermott, Bolton, Mantis, Chris Ball tucked in here. Looks like Mosley, Gale, Goddard just being distanced now. Canham just being distanced off the back, and the group is being stretched now. So the pressure that's being applied at the front by the one and only Damien Clayton, he's gone for it. He's a regular winner when he comes on. He's definitely a man who can do the business. We're just keeping a look here. This group at the back are going to have to push on. We've got Cameron Fraser and Cam Norman in here. So Cameron and Cameron, the two Camerons need to go. They're almost side by side here. Is it something about being Cameron? You're going to sit at this part of the group. And then get onto that Yellow Beacon group quick. You need those wheels, boys and girls. If you're not on it, you're going to be in trouble with some seriously exalted company. It's like Tom Elliott is in this little group as well. And these five are in danger of being distanced here from the Yellow Beacon group. They are the group most at risk. So at the moment, the leading group is this one. It's got Simon Oxenham. It's got the Wolf in here as well. This is the leading group, but this is not the lead. The lead is this man. It's Damien Clayton. Clayton is so fast. In fact, our camera is struggling to get in front of him at the moment. Now, the gang need to stay together. If they break the group up too much, they will lose the advantage of having volume as they come in, as the riders now come onto the Titans Grove climb proper. So they are now on to the official part of the climb. So this is where they are really going to need to push onwards as they come up here. It's a big old group. Now, who is in here? Have these riders made contact once again? Just seeing Booker is in here. Looks like Pillsworth group, they're still at 5 seconds at the moment. They've got to keep on pushing on. Just going to take a look, see who's going up the road. That looks like that's Cameron Norman, realising that the bus has left the station. Needs to be on those wheels. Still got a little bit of climbing still to go. Elliott is not managed to go with him. It looks like Neil from the crosscast a little bit further back. Oh, this is where we find out whose legs can really do the talking, who's can not just talk the talk, but walk the walk as well. Now look at this group now. This is the group with Man and Lloyd from GCN. The GCN rider tucked nicely in here once again. This is a fast-moving group on this climb as well. There's some really cracking names in here. Keith Richardson, one of our really fast riders on the Chaingang. Nick McDermott, John Wild in here, people who we know can finish right up in the mix. You can see this is really causing riders to come together. It's causing packs to come together in groups of 5, 10, 15 riders, but one man is still clear. Damien Clayton, though, only has 5 seconds at the moment. 5 seconds it's stabilizing out over that Yellow Beacon group. He has ripped the group to pieces. He's absolutely shredded it. Well, if it was a bit of pulled pork, if it was a joint of pulled pork, I think most of the scraps have been laid on the floor for a long way back, but there is still enough left to make a decent burrito up there. But the question is going to be, can they come back to him? Is anybody going to be able to lay that power down? I think it's certainly going to be a spicy burrito by the end, because this is going to be one heck of a chase. Clayton is continuing onwards with this effort. He knows what he's doing here. He's won on this course before. He knows there's still plenty of time to climb. There's plenty of distance left to the finish. Remember, we finish just over the 40k marker as we come down and into that Fuego Flats archway. He is indeed doing a pog. He's just going for it. He's just going with absolute abandon and giving it some absolute beans at the minute. Why not? If you've got the legs, go off the front and give it a go. You can see everybody's putting in big numbers trying to get on now. Harry Hudson, we just seen really start to smash up through that group. He's gone on to the front. Is this where Harry Hudson tries to pull it across? Hudson, again, another regular winner. Now, the question is, can anybody go with Hudson now and bridge across? I'll tell you something. Clayton and Hudson together, I don't think there'd be much catching them back. I think Clayton maybe wanted to have one or two big hitters with him. Hudson, though, is coming across this gap. I'll tell you something, he's jumping across very, very fast indeed. And Simon Oxenham, once again, is doing the work to try and pull the gap back. He's regularly on the top of a climb to do the work. And you've got to wonder, if Oxenham was in a breakaway, would he be able to do this now? Hudson, at the moment, has chucked that anvil in early in the hope that it'll carry on over the top and he'll get something else as well. What's he going to get on the way through? Tell you something, he's going to continue on with that anvil on the way down here because it's going to start picking up speed. It's going to be really useful for him. It should get him across to Damian Clayton. Everybody else setting PRs on the way up through here. And we're just in with Clayton. 3 seconds the gap to Hudson. 10 seconds back to the pack. And that pack is fracturing on this descent. Hudson now starts to pick up the pace as he comes down after him. That anvil has worn off. Clayton's continuing to try and keep the pace here. Now, whether or not he's going to be able to stay clear, we're just trying to get a decent camera shot for you of these riders as they come in and through. Our drone struggling to fly fast enough to stay in front of Damian Clayton. Such is the speed at the moment on this descent. Osman is going to be the first of the riders, I think, that come up and close and make the catch here. So it's Osman who's going to go over the top here. He's going to wait surely with this group now. So the Yellow Beacon group has made it back to the leader. Jimmy Allen and the Wolf are back. Who is going to take this out, though, because we've still got plenty of distance on the way down. This is a big, big group, and it looks to me like it's 16 riders strong. 16 riders strong up on the front. I'm just going to take a little run a bit further down. Now, the Woodall chasing group is fractured as well. Woodall taking off that group. Looks like Alexander, the same. D. Taylor. Paige Plunkett's done the same. Nath, Cam Fraser, Tom Elliott in here. Little's in here as well. Looks like Norman in this group as well. This is a pretty select group. And again, this is a pretty big pack. Can it sneak up to the group in front? I think Neil from Gritty, one of our key supporters, is in here. A little bit further back, 11 seconds down. This is going to be the Bolton, Lloyd, Forrester, McDermott group. Got Wild tucked in here as well. And then it's going to be a little bit further back. Westwood just hanging on the back there. Then it's about 10 seconds back. You've got Forbes. You've got Harper. And then Wilson, Low, Wiley. Got to find a group, guys. Get a pack together, get a group together, and ride as a group. It's going to make a massive, massive difference. Andy Singleton in here with Brooks, with Carl Kopinski, with Bags, Cootie, Mason, Andy Keyworth in here, Fiona Booker on a great ride. It tucked in with this group as well as they come up to the top of the climb. This is where we see who can descend. Looks like Alan Parsons in here. That's Mr. Ridley. Young Mr. Taylor in this group. Keith Hayward not all that far behind. So Callum Craves, Stefano Borelli also at the in that group. Meanwhile, the big descent is on at the front of the group, at the front of the pack. We're just going to jump in with Osman at the moment, but Clayton looks like he's again pushing the envelope of what these riders can do. He's got an aero power up this time round. And looks to me like he's trying to go clear on the descent. That's an interesting move. That's going to really make them work. Using that aero once again to try and break clear on this descent. Try and get some ground. Interesting he's used it this early rather than saving it for later. And there's plenty of 0.1s, 1.2s, 2.3s. Nobody really pushing up the numbers behind him. This is allowing the gap to go up. Now Oxenham takes it up to nearly a 6. And this group are going to be relying on volume to close down Damien Clayton at the moment. So Damien really is taking the battle to everyone else. As Jimmy Allen says, it's up to you, sprinters. Are you going to tow sprinters like Gareth Mason to the line? Are you going to take riders like Dale Williams, like Tom Lindley to the line? These are riders that we know can sprint, that have got some serious firepower. Would you take them to the line? The answer is going to be no. Go on, knock yourselves out, get some work done at the front, guys, because guess what? We're not going to do it all now. Interesting to see Booker moving his way up there. Mason's up to the challenge. He's gone right up near the front of this group. And I think Jimmy Allen doing the right thing here. Let's get some wear out of those sprinters' legs on the way through. At the moment, though, it is Clayton who's got that little bit of a gap. 5 seconds at the moment. So on the descent, we're going to come into the T-junction. We're going to turn right. When we go past those pens, it's 2.4k to the finish. When we go past the rider pens, this is going to be very interesting. Is Clayton going to get caught? Answer that, probably yes. Will he have expended the most energy? Probably not. There's a lot of people having to work hard behind here to pull him back. And at the moment, it looks to me like it's going to be Lindley who's on a bit of a move across here. He's being marked out by Simon Oxenham. Once again, Lindley and Oxenham over 7 there. We just saw Finley Hudson hitting those 7-8 watts per kilo markers again. Those numbers starting to go red. They're in pursuit of Clayton. Here he comes. Remember, it's 2.4k when we go past the pens, which we're doing now. They're just on the left of our riders. So as they go in past the pens, they're going to make the way down and across the face of them. At the moment, it's Finley Hudson who is leading this out now. Who has got something left in the legs? Who's got some speed? Who's got the power? This is going to be very interesting. Let's see who can bring these riders back. And remember, it's going to be about who's got any kind of speed. Now, look at this. The Wolf has decided to wind it up. So Jimmy Allen going for a long one or keeping the pace so high that the sprinters have to work here. They're all looking at each other again. They're not responding to this. This is very dangerous. We've seen Jimmy Allen take them out and really catch them by surprise. The Wolf has pounced, and the Wolf has pounced hard. He's gone for the kill here. Can he continue to push? So he's got to keep on moving now. He's going to get assistance. He's got Clayton coming up. Come on, boys, this is it. You're going to give it a big push now, and you could stay clear. Look at Williams. He's having to put in. We are seeing 11 watts per kilo. So much is put on the fact that Jimmy Allen and Damien Clayton are dangerous. We've got another breakaway specialist, another rider who likes to go long. Dale Williams coming at them at the moment. And behind, they are not necessarily responding at the sort of pace they need to. Booker is going to be the next rider who's going to try and come across, and I think he may be the one who drags the group back up again here. So it may well be that they're going to come back in and on to the wheels as they come on in. Remember, we finish at the Rock Arch here today, the Fuego Flats Rock Arch Sprint. That's where you've got to get to. That's where the riders will be looking. It's a long, long sprint. The countdown marker comes on the right-hand side. Now, Mason's still tucked in here with the group. Who's got a ghost here? This is where it's going to really come in. There's one gone there. That's one gone. Clayton reappears up the road here. He's gone down the road. Has he gone far enough? There's another rider ghosting minimum. Here we go. Lindley's gone over the top of him. Lowe's gone as well. This is where things get spicy because Mason is going after Lindley. He's going for him. The question is, can he get him back in time? Mason is drag stripping it. Look at Williams go. Williams has got rockets in there. Where did he find that? He lit some afterburners that would take the space shuttle up to the moon. He's gone past them and takes the win. Dale Williams took that out from Hudson, from Mason. And then the rest of that group come over so close you could almost throw a blanket over the top of them. Great riding there. Then it's going to be Jimmy Allen along with Damien Clayton. Great riding, great attacking by them. Next group already coming in to the countdown. There's some seriously sore legs after that tonight, that is for sure. Right, Richie Woodall in here with Pearson and Kennedy here. So our next group on their run for the line. Big group behind them, actually. They can't afford to do much finessing here. So here we go. Sprint comes in. Kennedy's going to lead it out. Has anybody got anything left to answer Kennedy? He's going to be the rider who's going to go clear. I don't think Woodall's got enough to match him. Then Pearson behind then. Looks like Neil from Gritty leading this out. Norman's going to go over the top of him here. So Norman's going over the top of Neil from the crosscast. So they come in and through. Both riders who are on KOM's round here going through very close together. Just taking a look, we just seen Cam Fraser come through there as well. McDermott on his way into the line. He is with John Wild in here. They've got a little bit of a gap here. So this group are coming in hard. Nick McDermott's going to lead them in, I think, here. So McDermott is going to come across the line first. Then it is going to be Tim behind him, followed by West, followed by Richardson, Wild, Bolton, Forrester. Whoa, very close between them, and then Sharp and Co. Now, who's going to take this out? They've all put the draft in. No one's on the front. They're all looking at each other. That's dangerous. So not many people are going to be getting much of a assistance here, much assistance on the way through here. So this is Sadler in the light orange. You've got Dick Samuel in the Ineos kit, and you've got Lloyd here. Manon Lloyd is going to sprint for this. Manon's going to go for this. She's going to roll them, just about holding on them, keeping her honest as she comes in through the line. Manon Lloyd comes through leading that group of three of Sadler and Samuel. They come through just ahead of Westwood. Then it's going to be Goddard and Vin Donahoe, who are going to be pretty much side by side. It's going to be Donahoe. Oh, Donahoe gets that. Then I think it was going to be Gale and Goddard coming through with Forbes and Lowe. Ball comes through to finish us to Steve Wilson. Mantis, Wildy, Dobson comes through. Absolutely flying. Remember, find a group, get in that group, work as a group. Really key on the way in to the finish. So mainly next rider heading into the finish, 18 seconds clear of what is this group here? It's a massive group. I was going to say it's like 5 or 6 riders. It's not. It's more like 15, if not 20 riders coming in. This is going to be an interesting sprint here. Let's see who's going to take this out. So Main going in over the line next. Now here comes the kick. Good to see Mr. Patterson. So Patterson leading this out at the moment. Good ride by him. Is he going to have the power to keep clear? Carl Johnson goes for it. Carl with a massive kick. We know he sprints no matter what group he's in. Well, he's going from a big group this time, and he's going to lead them in over the line. They're coming at him quick. Ambler's coming fast at the moment. Is Ambler? Oh, it doesn't quite make it on the line. That was by about a tyre width there that Carl Johnson held on. Tim Baggs coming through. John Gaffer. Pattison, Cannon, Carl Kopinski, Fiona Booker came in with that group. Carissa came in there. Tracy Seeley, the Terminator. Cannon, Malin, Singleton, Keyworth, Lee, Mason, Crehan, Cootie, Burke in there, Priester. A real who's who coming through. Told you it was a big group. It's like reading out the phone book. All right, next up. Going to be Brooks coming in. Got 22 seconds on young Mr. Taylor. So Benjamin Taylor chasing in Brooks at the moment. In from Bolsover District. Very fast man, this man. Interestingly, not in the green and black of Bolsover and District CC. Good seeing on the Chaingang. In chased by Benjamin Taylor. Next to be Matt Woodward, Keith Hayward, Alan Parsons, Callum Crabe, Joe Walker. Going to be Rich Orrell on the bus with Mark Grant, with Stefano Borelli in here as well. So great to see a big old gang of riders making their way in to the finish. So Ian Brooks on his way in to the finish here. Absolutely did a superb ride. Time trial on his way into the finish here solo. He's extending that gap over Taylor at the moment. Taylor's starting to push back towards him. So Brooks going to be our next rider in. Then it is going to be Benjamin Taylor. Taylor also with that rock arch in his sights. Quick reminder, guys, make sure you sign up in plenty of time. If you can donate to help us keep the show on the road, please do. Please, please, please read the rules of the gang. Ignorance is no defense. It's all over everything you sign up to. When you join, you register. There's a reason we have the registration, and there will be people not coming back. Don't come Monday, will be a don't come back Thursday. Right, Taylor pushes on, gets himself in and under the arch. Good ride by Benjamin. And going to be chased here by Matt Woodward. Woodward going to be the next rider coming through that rock arc to finish. And then it'll be that warm down after that. Keith Hayward is motoring on well at the moment. He's got Mr. Ruddy, Alan's Parsons right on his heels. But Woodward well down the road here, 22 seconds. And that rock arch coming up in a couple of seconds or so. Just going to take a little bit of a view as he comes in. Here we go. So it is going to be the rock arch for Matt Woodward. Then it's going to be Keith Hayward. And going to be Alan Parsons. Is Alan going to sprint as he coaches? Let him put a sprint in. So a little bit further back, Craig is pushing, but Hayward and Parsons on the way to the line. Remember, the finishers have come in. They're edging each other here. It's edgy, edgy, edgy. Who's going to get this? Parsons is just going to edge him on the way in and through. Then it's going to be Callum Craig doing a good ride by Callum. Well done, bud. So Callum Craig comes in and through the line, goes in with Joe Walker. Not all that far behind. So Joe with a little bit of a gap behind him. Okay, let's jump to the bus. This is the bus. The bus is almost at the line, and in the bus is Stefano. Remember, if in doubt, make sure you get on to the Nonna's website. Don't forget, of course, if you're not in Sheffield, you're not anywhere near Sheffield, you can always mail order from Nonna's online, Nonna's store online. Lots of amazing, fantastic products on there for the best food and drink in the business. Don't forget, of course, that if you're a member of the DCG gang, get yourselves down. If you are a member of the Donny Chaingang Sports Club, the DCG gang, if you're one of those people who has supported us in the month of March or throughout the entire winter season, then please do make the most of that and make the most of the fantastic welcome you're going to get. Kuslux are Red Beacon bringing these riders in at the moment. Who's going to take this? Rich Orwell is tucked on the back here, just waiting to kick by the look of it at the moment. Who's going to twitch first? Who's going to jump? Is it going to be Mark Grant? Is it going to be Stefano? Is it going to be Kuslux? He's winding it up at nearly 5 watts per kilo there. Here's Kuslux. I don't think anybody's going to come round him at that, or are they? Here we go. He can see Oral's coming. He's not going to let him have it. So Kuslux comes through. A massive thank you to Michael Hutchison being our Red Beacon today. Assistance from Rich Orwell, who's laughing at the fact he couldn't get round him there. Mark Grant coming through on the bus, and of course Stefano coming in through in that Italian Azeri blue of the Squadra gang coming in and through. So that's our riders on the way through. They're going to continue on to finish their warm down here today. Great to have them on the gang. We're going to leave them out and riding, and it means that it's just lots of housekeeping to do. Don't forget, follow us. It is the Donny Chaingang on Facebook. You can find Donny Chaingang on the Facebook site. All details on there. Remember, you need to answer some questions to get in if you haven't done already. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up with me. It's at Matt Fixpain, and of course, it is at Full Speed Events. You can see it just over there. Don't forget, of course, give Fonzie a follow. It is Russ standing for the Pro Espresso, for Bike Flex, and all of the things that Russ is involved in. And, of course, Downing Cycling, as you've seen our riders with the Downing Cycling coached jerseys. I will be seeing some of you back, most of you back, hopefully, on Thursday for the Open DCG. Don't forget, though, in the meantime, between now and Thursday, we have the WOW DCG, and it's on one of our staple courses. It's our datum point. It is the point from which we measure all performances. It's Greater London Flat. It's going to be an absolute corker tomorrow. We've got Alison Kinlock coming back for our yellow beacon duties. We've got Mass Heffron as our red beacon. And great to have such experienced riders as the beakers on the WOW DCG. Give it a watch, give it a follow if you're out doing your own pedaling on Zwift at the same time. Stick it on the screen, give it a watch. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up with us at lots of events as well. So follow that social media. But in the meantime, make sure you give the guys over there your support. They are the people who keep the show on the road by looking after the members of the DCG gang. So a massive thank you if you are a member. Thanks very much, guys. We will see you again tomorrow for our next Donny Chaingang.